Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and to others, it's good morning. We have DK64 Randomizer.com's Season 4 tournament series here. We are on Qualifier number 9, just a little over halfway through our qualifying rounds. And tonight we got quite a matchup for you. It is Kamerson versus Beardbox. My name's K-Man, I'm going to be on the mic. And joining me tonight, I hear he's a little bit of a boulder scientist himself. It's Spike. Welcome, Spike.
Morning. Hopefully we're doing well on this fine morning/evening, I guess, for Qual 9. I'm genuinely shocked we're over halfway through this season already.
Yeah, it's flying by. I know we've already got some people who have finished all 7 of their qualifiers, and they're here just to try and turn the curve against those who are still trying to score here.
Oh yeah, because if I remember correctly, from the 2 people we have in front of us right now, one of them's already done the quals, if I'm not mistaken.
You are not mistaken. Beardbox has already scored 7 qualifiers, and meanwhile, Kamerson, I believe he's on his 5th qualifier. So it'll be interesting to see. I am interested to see if Beardbox plays differently at all. Now that he has all of his qualifiers scored, that kind of means that he has a little more flexibility to maybe take a couple extra risks and see if that can get him a really good time that will push that curve.
Oh yeah, it's going to be interesting seeing the differences in play, but also just how. What was the words I was looking for? Honestly, how the point system is going to go, because some of the seeds we've had lately, everyone here knows, there have been some, let's just call them seeds of all time, or should we go odd qualifiers of all time? If I'm not mistaken, this is Qualifier 9, so, what's your prediction, K-Man? How do you reckon today's going to go? Any specific checks or any, hopes for the seed?
Well, I am always hoping for the rematch of the century, Dogadon 2. That's always my check that I'm looking out for. And luckily, if we want to talk a little bit about the items we have right now, we do have a chunky start, which takes us one step closer to maybe seeing that check there. But we also have Tiny, Featherbow, Trombone, and a Slam, which will be good. Do any of those help you find your check you're looking for, Spike?
Kind of, actually. See, I was half on the boat of you, right, of Doga 2. However, what I was thinking wasn't so much Doga, but more, where is Barrels? And I do see 1 of 5 guns here. So we have a blue Slam, so who knows? Maybe we'll in fact get a certain legendary check for some throwing of the boulders.
We could see a check of legends here for the boulder throwing. The one in Forest, we luckily, as long as Forest doesn't roll level 7, we don't need to find another Slam for that. We are still out 3 Kongs and 4 guns for that, but who knows? Season 4 has thrown quite a few curveballs, and if I've heard there's some rumors around odd number qualifiers, so we might be in for an entertaining night here.
Oh, I'm expecting it. I'm hoping for. Whether it be, we have a certain quick seed, I don't know what the word for that is, or a long seed. I also don't know what the word for that is. But those 2 things.
Yeah, the words whose name shall not be spoken. The good old J seed in some senses. It might be 3 letters. Might be a type of aircraft. You can piece those together. But the moment we say it, we're gonna curse it to the other kind. So hopefully we'll kind of see what happens. We've had like a slew of pretty long, arduous seeds. I'm not going to try and spoil too much of what happened in the previous qualifiers, but we had a bit of a breath of fresh air in the latest one. We'll see if that's a trend or if we go right back to some of the slogs that we've seen from the early qualifiers.
Yeah, there's only one way to find out, and we're probably close to kicking things off, I would say. It looks like all of our runners are indeed ready, so Sarah, send them off. Let's see what kind of seed we have today.
Yep. I hope you brought your gallon of water like I did. I am ready for the 3-hour marathon we're about to have. But it looks like the countdown has started. We'll be sending them off shortly here in 5 seconds. And we'll just have to see what kind of seed we rolled.
And one thing
Already, we're
I'm
seeing
to see. Oh, sorry, you go.
We're just seeing a pretty typical opening. I mean, we don't really have any items so far other than the feather bow, which gets us our first golden banana and peanuts, it looks like, on the Outer Isle Ferry.
That's a pretty good start. 2 out of 5 guns. Nice, nice.
It's just inching closer and closer every little step we can get to doing Check of Legends here.
It's gonna happen.
All right, we have Force Mills to key 5, and Japes is our level 1. We'll see. They do just. Looks like Cam just immediately goes into Japes, and it looks like Beardbox is about to follow suit.
I like the play. It's very quick checks in this place, easy peeks, a few easy hints to get, not as many as some other levels, but pretty quick. I do respect the play to go in.
Yeah, I kind of think in Season 4, like, especially at the beginning, you don't have a lot of opportunity. Ooh, there's a purple potion on the tiny timed cage. But you kind of want to just make sure you can enter your levels. It's not super likely that you're going to be able to enter both your starting levels. So I think the moment you see a B-Locker you can enter in the early game, you just go ahead and enter it.
Oh, I agree. And there's so many early checks that have been taken out compared to other seasons. It's just, there's not really anything to do in Isles, really. So, like, I could see people doing plays where they just skip to a level, leave things behind, and come back a little bit later when you get, like, I don't know, Minnie or Cranky, who's in Factory today.
Cranky in Factory. We'll have to see how far out he is. Also, probably worth noting, there are 2 fairies on that shop. If we end up having to do returning the banana fairies, hopefully the runners keep track that shop's going to be a good place to hit.
Yeah, definitely a good idea in settings like these to keep track of that stuff, because you only need 1 pearl in these settings, but you need 6 fairies. It does take a little bit to find those points.
Right, and a lot of the runners nowadays, like, they're keeping tabs of every fairy that they see, especially the easy ones that you can find in shops. And just so, like, if you end up with, like, an 11th hour BFI hinted, they know exactly where they need to hit to. Hive Tunnel to 3-8 DK Chunky Kongs.
That is a hefty hint for Hive, so we'll find out if we can get that or not, if we need to find some other moves.
I have a good feeling about it. I mean, it's 5 hints, and one of them is free Kong, so you know free Kongs has to be... It doesn't have to be super early, but seeing key 1, 4, 5 are free Kongs, that kind of tells you it's one of the earlier checks that you're going to get.
Oh, yeah.
But we'll just have to see, because 3-8 DK and Chunky is not... don't really give any indicators for early checks in contrast. But we do have a blue potion here on the battle pad. Oh, classic. Classic.
Best move in the game.
Probably not as useful when you have Tiny to start with as is, but I guess unless your name is Spike and you do orang stand boosts all over the map when you don't have DK.
Honestly, I'll be honest, I had to think about what you were talking about when you just said that. I was expecting some bold attack. Oh, stand. Oh, yeah. Yeah, honestly, it's quicker than a lot of other things. However, when you get hand pains, it's a bit rough. Also, that was what was that? Diddy Lanky, was that?
Yep, that was Diddy Lanky for Helm. So we got to find Rocket Barrel, we got to find Guitar, and we got to find... Well, we don't have to find Trombone because we started with it. So luckily, that's one of the Helm moves out of the way. So we have almost the end game sort of mapped out at the very least. We have Diddy Lanky for Helm, and we have DK Chunky so far for our K. Rool phases. Chunky, unfortunately, that's a lot of checks, and I don't want to curse anything quite yet, but chunky phases sometimes can cause a lot of runners to sweat. And we find diving in the hive tunnel area. That could be our hinted move.
That could be, yeah, although that does offer a few more questions than anything, but either way, that is level 4 access, so hinted or not, we do kind of want that.
Oh, and the nice thing about starting with Featherbow is that, like, you do get this extra hint door in the hive tunnel area, and you can peek not only this barrel, which you could from that door, but you could also peek the stump here. It doesn't look like there's anything, so unless it's the beehive, I'm pretty comfortable in penciling in that divings are 3-8 DK Chunky and free Kong item.
That does make a lot of sense. And also good that both runners decided to skip peeking Lobby 3 first, because you can in fact go straight from Lobby 3 to Lobby 4 with that diving.
Yep.
Exterior to 7.
Exterior to 7. So that's not the blast course because Hive Tunnel is path to DK phase, and it is not path to 7. So we do know that that blast course is not going to have anything for us.
The skip the golden banana to, oh, I need more for castle, to instantly turning back to do the bonus barrel. Love the thought process that you can see a lot of the time by watching players do things.
Yeah, I sort of just instinctually jump into the bonus barrel when I see golden bananas. I think early on you're basically doing every early bonus barrel that has a GB on it. You just want to get access to your 7 levels as early as possible, especially in CLO where your moves and your Kongs can kind of be anywhere.
A hard agree there. In the end of the day, level access is what you want, whether it be because, oh yeah, you need 64 gold bananas to get key 8, or because, what was it I was actually going to say? I've just completely lost my train of thought. Anyway, Fungi Forest.
That's fine. We'll let this hint here. Cabin area to 3-8 DK Chunky. That is interesting combined with diving. Doesn't really. There's nothing in cabins that requires diving. But Forest is our level 4, and we do have enough. That was 2? Was it 2 to get in? Not that it matters. They both have enough to get in anyway.
Yeah. Aww. That's sad. So sorry to all the bean leavers out there. It's not a
Rip.
bean feed.
Rip bean leavers. Quite unfortunate. It wasn't the check I was rooting for, but it's always a content one nonetheless.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, but in Forest here, we do have mills to 5, so I think that's probably going to be our next progression. We do also have Castle only being locked by 8 GBs, so it's very likely that... I don't know why Beardbox just turned away from the hint there, but he's just getting CBs. Anyway, it's possible we can get our access to Castle just through GBs, or we might find Key 5 and have access to the 2 other levels, but my guess is that we'll be clearing mills pretty thoroughly here before making our way out of the level.
So Aztec Fairy and Tiny Skid out, which, yeah, it does seem that Beardbox did just completely skip that hint. So, that might be a problem, but I guess we'll see.
It's a little weird. I mean, luckily, you don't want to skip a path hint. A Wath hint, you might be able to piece stuff together. I'm just speaking from experience of, like, the amount of Waths you see endgame where you're like, oh yeah, I knew that was Wath. Like, that sometimes happens, but we'll see. We're still out mini monkey for that. And it's possible, like, if we get a 5-door temple path to something, that we'll just stumble upon it anyway, but still kind of odd because he made a motion to go to the door and then just was inches from it before turning around. Probably
now, the question is as well, the question with a lot of hints I also ask is, do people go back to their pause menu to check what hints are missing? Because if that's the case, then that's easy to go and figure out what you've missed, right?
That's true. I think it depends early versus late game. I definitely do it late game when I'm reaching the end and I know, like, I'm just missing 1 or 2 pieces. But if that 5-door temple ends up being an earlier game sort of check and ends up sort of walling Beardbox here, it could spell trouble.
hints are both on the way to the Mills hint. Do you, when you're playing, do you skip coming back here until you get DK, or are you someone who goes here for information early on?
You're asking one of the safest runners if he skips a hint door. I'm going to tell you the answer is no. I'm always going back here for the hint door.
Yeah, I rarely skip this kind of stuff. I think if I skip anything, it's just climbing mushroom.
I don't even do that. And I think that's actually a pretty good hint to get right now. Attic shooting Way of the Horde. Because we can do that once we find Lanky. We don't need to wait till we get Grape.
Yeah, exactly. But that also means that homing ammo is going to be somewhere probably on these path hints.
Oh, that is true. That could be our key 5 if we end up finding Lanky early.
Well, we haven't found key 5 in Mills yet. I don't think we've even potentially peeked it. So unless if there's some other hidden check somewhere, decent odds that is the case. And none of our other hints point to it, so maybe?
Yeah, on one hand, it is possible. On the other hand, not seeing other stuff past key 5 does spell trouble. Well, now I'm feeling a lot better about that if Grape Shooter's just that easily accessible. That was on Tiny's medal, I believe?
Yeah, it was FTM, the best medal. Well, not so much in S4, but anyone who watched NES 2 or S3 knows the power of the FTM.
Yeah, a little easier now that we have access to the 15 CBs that are around Funky Shop a lot earlier. But good call out, just seeing that you have Feather Bow, seeing that you have Diving, knowing that Tiny's medal is in logic with that. And especially if you're Season 3 brained, you might think, oh, that's super deep locked. It's not going to be early. Nope. But luckily, both runners here pick up Grape Shooter. I think it's now seeming very likely that Key 5 is probably just on that attic shooting.
I reckon, yeah, most likely. But then the question is, where is Lanky? Because I don't think any of the hints we've found so far have been Kong hints.
No, we haven't found any direct Kong hints. The only thing we have is Diving as path to freeing Kongs. But that's it, and that could be referring to a different Kong entirely, so no direction so far on where Lanky is, but I think we're probably going to be seeing Lanky first out of the 3 Kongs.
Probably. But having Diving hinted is, as I like to put it, do you have the slightest idea how little that narrows it down?
Yeah, it basically tells you, like, go to Galleon. Or it could, if we want to talk about like super cursed zones, I don't really want to like dig in there quite yet, but we might be cooking up an unhinted diving mini game. Ooh, who's ready for that?
Well, I mean, there is a bonus barrel in Cabins. That wouldn't be a free comms thing, but that place is on the same path minus comms. There could be something in that particular bonus barrel.
That would be Chunky's 5-door cabin, right?
Yeah, I believe that's the only mini-game in Cabins from memory.
Yeah. So we'd still be out Triangle and Gorillagon, but seeing as it's path to 3, 8, DK, and Chunky, it could be endgame, so it's possible we veer off that, or we don't come back to that path for quite a while. We'll just have to see. Part of me thinks that it could be an instrument, Lighthouse Foolish. It could be an instrument that combines and you go to 5-door temple. I think it's more likely to be something combining with diving rather than diving leading us to it.
Yeah, that makes sense. We haven't found any more useful hints right now to lead us that way, so I feel like all we're trying to do right now is just get to Castle. Nothing else seems to be happening.
Nah, I think once we get this Kasplat, we do have a gun to turn it today. I don't remember if they've seen the TNS door yet, but there is that one last hint near Snides, which some people might forget, but it could be an important hint door, especially with it being available so early. Hopefully it's not one that people forget to go to, and I think Beardbox is dropping down to head there right now. Or to kill this Kasplat. I guess he didn't end up getting this on his first pass up. But I think we'll probably be going to Castle. Could be likely that Lanky's in Castle. And Beardbox ends up exiting to Isle, so not getting the hint door near Funky's and also not getting the Snide hint. But
interesting.
He's going to be forced to go back to Forest, so he could And like you'll have to go back with Lanky, I think, to get key 5. So in that case, he'll probably be okay, and he'll have another opportunity to get those hints. So not Doomsday yet, but we'll see what the hint door is near Snides, and if that's going to punish Beardbox at all, or if he's doing what I said at the beginning, which is taking big risks and just kind of trying to push for like a really good time, because he doesn't care about the score. He just cares about getting in the top 5.
I respect that, honestly. Oh, okay, that's actually a good hint. We have a production climb seed.
Yep, we got production spring, and then Beardbox, I think, saw the hunky barrel. I don't know if that was the Kasplat near the hunky barrel or the hunky barrel itself.
It was the Kasplat.
Oh, the Kasplat. Okay.
Yeah.
Much less worrisome.
Yeah, exactly. Alright, going to snipe this fairy, which actually was a fairy, it seems.
Vanilla Fairy. Is this game even randomized? Come on.
Nah, not randomized at all. This is actually a 101% speed run. We got you, chat. We got you.
Well, you ask some of the runners about some of the seeds, and they'll say it was exactly that.
You are unfortunately not wrong.
Yeah. Castle's a pretty interesting level. I kind of like how the randomized entrance has really changed people's guns. Changed people's routing. Like you see a lot of route diversity compared to like season 3, where it was kind of a same climb for everyone. But now with different like starting locations and utilizing the verticality of it, you kind of see a lot of people with different strategies.
Yeah, like it was such a shame in season 3 because that option didn't exist that there wasn't a lot of diversity in routing. The diversity was like, do you go underground or climb? Do you go mills or mushroom? Do you go cabins or igloo? And in the end, by the time you got through things, it kind of just diverted to, oh, tiny temple. Oh, well, there's probably diving explained.
Yeah, that's probably a good location for diving. Tiny temple could get you something for cabins. Blows my theory out of the water. Fine.
No, he's a cook for you. I can't believe that bonus barrel didn't have anything. Oh, that's a shame. You could be vines inside Tiny Temple to go do a diving vines minigame somewhere.
Oh, true. This I do not let the seed lead you in a false sense of security. You can always find ways to throw curveballs. We'll just have to see.
100%. Speaking of curveballs,
I'm gonna be popping off when we see vines, though.
Now, speaking of curveballs, we have 4 guns because we got a pineapple by climbing around castle, and we know we need to climb production. That's 5 guns.
5 guns. Early
5
forest.
guns.
Someone might have won the lottery on predictions here. Oh, there's our last fight phase. Outer Isles to Diddy.
Well, that was the peanuts that we got on the... Rocket? Could be Rocket? Nah, it's looking like Checker Legends is dead.
It could be Rocket, couldn't it? Oh, random key 4. Thank you, key 4, for showing up.
Okay. That's random key.
But I don't think any of our guns have been pathed yet. Oh, and the classic hint. 5 feet away from what it's talking about. Castle Underground to 4. Thank you, Season 4. Thank you, Dose Doors.
Absolute classic hit right there.
But, so here's the thing. It could be Peanuts' Path to Nothing, which would be probably really likely. Or, hear me out, there is barrels on Checker Legends, and Rocket Barrel is returning the Banana Fairy. Huh?
Okay, you know what?
No, that one's dead. Thank you, Little King, for shattering my dreams. Rocket would be to 8, so it can't be. It has to be Peanuts in the Outer Isles.
I was unfortunately just trying to ignore that message, but yes, you are correct. What do you mean? That's
Rocket
where
Barrel
Rocket
could just be
Barrel
right there. And
What do you
can't
mean?
even get that. Also, we have Orange's Waff.
Wait, we have Orange's Waff?
Yeah, so Oranges just showed up on the Aztec Kasplat.
Okay. Oh,
And-
there's a key here. What is going on?
And key 1. So just lots of keys, lots of everywhere. We are at least...
what in this... Sorry, you go.
It's a little bit of a double-edged sword here. On one end, you love to see your keys just kind of come up. On the other end, you have so much surface area now, and we still haven't found our third Kong. So it's both a blessing and a curse in one, because it could be a while before we actually find Lanky.
Alright, so we have that rocket barrel there, so that's Diddy Phase taken care of. In theory, that gets us key 7. The question is that ever going to be hinted anywhere? Because Cam seems to have skipped it. Also going for a nice little peek in here.
Yeah, that remains to be seen. So the hint system, I think, guarantees at least one hint. That's Factory Cranky Lanky. Was that Factory Cranky Lanky?
It was, yeah.
Okay, Factory Cranky Lanky. But anyway, the hint system guarantees at least one hint per endpoint, but not one hint per item of that endpoint. So you need 2 items for the Diddy phase. We already had Peanuts hinted as the Diddy phase, so there's no guarantee that we're going to get a hint for Rocket Barrel, which would be disastrous for Cam. But it's still early. It still could absolutely be WAF hinted or Path hinted in surroundings, so just something to look out for.
So Lanky and a Kasplat in Factory. So 4 out of 5 chance that Lanky is a very easy Kasplat. And considering key 5, I think it's safe to say that that's going to be an obtainable check.
Well, it's hard to say because at the very least it won't be locked by anything at level 6 and 7. But since Kongs are not, or Kongs are assumed on path, that doesn't necessarily mean any of these complicated paths aren't required for getting Lanky himself.
Very true. So what even is the play for both of these two right now? Is it just farm GBs, or is there something else here that we need to be doing?
Well, we didn't find anything in the Tiny Temple, I don't think. So there's still, either it's the vulture shooting. Once again, thank you to Dose Doors for helpful hint there. But I think we're basically gonna be trying to find Factory here. I think we got key 1 and key 4 pretty quickly, although so we still have our level 2. I think if that's Factory, we have to go find Lanky. I think Lanky's kind of the bottleneck so far, because it could be vulture shooting for the Tiny Temple item. We know he's probably needed for key 5. But on the flip side, if it's Galleon, maybe your diving finally gets you something for this free Kong's path. So I think it's just going to depend on get your information, get quick checks, then head on to your level 2.
Exactly, yeah, I think that makes sense. And our hint is... Oh. Okay. So DK Arcade, right? Oh no, testing. Never
That's
mind.
testing, unfortunately.
Shame.
Yeah.
I wonder if we're going to see the peak from Cam here.
It would be interesting. So I don't quite know how this peak works myself, but you can see possibly what this fairy is. You can't catch it. That's against the rules, but there's a certain camera clip you can do to actually like see what the fairy could be. And it could be good information for piecing stuff together, or you could just say, I'm not going to worry about it until I get Mini Monkey. And of course, I don't think Beardbox knows that this fairy is anything, or the fairy in the Tiny Temple is anything, so probably not likely to see a peek from Beardbox.
Yeah, I don't even know if Beardbox will go in there, but Beardbox, very, very smart play here. Wants a Death Warp to get back to the start of Aztec to actually go to Candies. Very clever right here.
Very clever indeed. But whenever I Death Warp, everyone says skill issue, apparently. And yeah, maybe I didn't want a Death Warp, but I still used it. Come on.
If it works, it works. We're about to find out on Cam's end anyways if it ended up working out or not.
It did.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. That's required.
Yeah. Oh, that's not good for Beardbox then. Uh-oh.
Well, so both of them have an item the other needs. Beardbox has Rocket Barrel from one of the Castle Casplats, and Cam has Gorilla Gun from one of the Aztec Casplats. So I hope hopefully one of them gets hinted. Otherwise, I might be going through my whole gallon of water here, Spike.
Well, I mean, if you want to go fill it up again real quick, I got you covered.
Oh, I haven't gone through in 25 minutes. You think I've gone through a gallon of water?
Look, I'm Australian. I don't know what a gallon is. I just know it's
true.
blue.
A gallon's like what, 4 point something liters?
Oh yeah, I better hope you're not going through that.
Another factory hint for a Kong. DK's in factory by Chunky. I don't know if Chunky can do much right now, though.
No.
His medal's not available.
Unless if it's the free Chunky check or the boss, there's a strong chance we're just looking for punch.
Dogadon 2!
Oh, yo.
Granted, you can't get Dogadon 2 right now, but I'm crossing my fingers hoping for a Doga 2 requirement.
See, here's the thing. We know we need barrels this seed because the Jake's Boulder has been hinted, and we know we need Hunky because it's a Chunky phase.
That's true. They will be collecting the items. It's just a matter of whether it pans out. Spike, we have 4 of the 5 guns needed for Check of Legends. We have all the requirements for Doga 2 as Wath. The stars may be aligning tonight for us.
I reckon.
Much to the pain of all the racers.
All I'm saying is I'm having a fun time watching.
I think it's gonna be a fun time for us. We'll see what we're saying in an hour and a half, but for now, the possibilities are entertaining to contend with.
Oh yeah. So what if? Oh no, we started with Blue Slam. I was about to say an either or slam on Check of Legends would be kind of cool, but no, never mind.
Ooh, Factory CBs and Chunky.
Bean.
Oh, and we found the bean. That's got to be a consolation. That's the best we could hope for, seeing Beanstalk be dead.
Oh, no, that is amazing. Like, it sucks that we're not going to be able to need to use it, but it's the thought that counts.
But to cook harder on these theories, we have 3-8 DK Chunky, and the moment that Chunky breaks off, we have Factory CBs. So if you want to put together, I'm just saying, could be you get Hunky, and then your factory boss could be your Doga 2. Yeah. Granted, I guess it's also to free Kong, so that might not actually work out. It's actually pretty interesting for this one for that one to not be path to Chunky, but then we have others that are path to Chunky but not path to free Kongs. Potion on the block tower, though.
Well, we know we need Spring for production, so where is Spring in this path?
That is a good question. Because Spring is going to get us to at least 2 different checks. Now, maybe they're both for the same endpoint. We don't know, but definitely possible this is our testing the 3 and 8. At the very least, we know it's not the beam. Yeah. That looks like guitar. Guitar to 3? Does that make sense? Maybe it does.
I have no idea. I'm trying
guitar
to think,
is at least...
Like...
It might have to be, because we don't have that many key 8 items left. We found Rocket Barrel, like, super free. And so, and we already had trombone, so the only other key 8 item, well, outside of getting 2%ed here, the only other key 8 item that we're missing is whatever we need to get up to upper creme.
Yeah. And there's the hinted FTM.
Yep, and knowing that lanky attic shooting is way of the horde, that was already known by us. So not that useful of a hint.
So I am definitely feeling from how these hints are, I wouldn't be surprised if key 3 or the means to get key 3 is actually just hideout helm. Because I don't think we have seen any solo 8 paths yet.
That's true, we haven't. Yeah, that's true.
That's my cook. Have a nice day. I don't actually know what else it could be at this point.
I don't quite know either. We'll have to just continue letting the hints roll in as we get more checks here. I'm going to pencil in that is guitar to 3 and 8. I do like the idea that key 3 could just be one of the fairies at the end of Helm. Or, if we want to get a little spicier, the Helm Battle Pad. Cave CBs to 8 and DK. Could be our blast is our way up to, ooh, barrels. Blast could be our way up to upper creme.
It's the boys, the barrels, the boulders.
The barrels and the boulders. But that does get us the Japes Chunky Boulder. So that's probably where Cam will be heading to right after the factory trip here.
Yeah. Have we seen the TNS in this level?
We've seen the door. It might be in storage and arcade. I think we've seen the door. I don't think it's production locked.
Okay, well, we'll see if we do get a boss peak here. Otherwise, I don't know where DK is going to be.
That's a good question.
We're about to find out.
I mean, it's hard to know. Like, DK, he could be one of our last Kongs, so we might, I really do think we should be trying to figure out where Lanky is. And seeing as the 4 Kasplats we just checked, none of them were, well, we still have production, so the production lower Kasplat could be Lanky. But now it's down to a 50-50. Oh, that kills Doga. Lanky does not fight Doga.
Oh.
However, that is a potion on the boss.
So if we do get Lanky right here, is Cam just going to turn around? Because that is a doable boss for Lanky.
That's a good question. Part of me says I don't know if I would. A clear potion is probably like a really hard sell right now. That could be homing. Actually, I bet you it's homing. I don't know if I do this boss.
I reckon peek it, and if it's a barrels boss, it's probably not homing, because we had a factory metals, and that was probably barrel throwing.
Yeah, I think Cam is thinking the same thing I am. I think that's homing. I think that's for key 5.
But we'll find out what's here soon, because we are on our way. Oh yeah, we have trombone.
Yeah, started off with trombone, so just a couple of quick GBs we can get here. We're mostly here for the Way of the Horde, Chunky Boulder. But I think we get this, see what it is, then we go get what I think. Okay, Beardbox.
All right, mods. You might need to clip the footage. We may have ban. We love this game.
Oh, I was about to say Cam didn't pick up the potion, but then I remembered that's Cranky, and we don't have Cranky yet. So we'll have to come back to that wherever we find Cranky.
What do we got here? Oh!
Even better, that's our Diddy Kong. Diddy Kong and a boulder. You have anything to say about that, Spike?
Y'all should check out 5.0. It's great.
But that likely does mean that it is, well, Barrels being the factory CBs makes a little more sense here, since we do have barrels drop off. I don't know if we saw. Did we see a 3.8 DK or did we only see 3.8 DK Kongs?
I don't actually know. We might have seen one without Kongs.
Okay, because that would lead barrels into that, but I probably wouldn't worry too much about barrels until we get our other 3.8 DK and chunky moves. I'm just expecting that's probably going to combine with whatever we get at the end of that path.
Yeah.
Now the question is Beardbox going to go do that boss? Because on one hand, I think it's homing. Because I think it's homing, then you get your key 5, and then your, DK might be locked behind your level 6 or 7. On the other hand, if it's not, and you're playing for a top 5 time to mess with everyone else's times, maybe you gamble on this not being homing.
Well, looks like we are heading back in. See, from what I'm thinking, if this is a barrels boss, then this won't be homing ammo, is my thought.
That's actually really true. That's a good point. If this is barrels, it's not homing. Well.
Alright, enjoy your homing ammo, Beardbox.
Yeah, enjoy your homing ammo. Although, we're gonna have egg on our faces when it's something else. Could be Duper Slam for all we know. But
that'd be amazing if this was Red Slam, honestly. That would be amazing.
Yeah. And you see Red Slam or you see Shockwave. There are a couple still great things it could be, but I think it's just homing to key 5. Especially with this not being the barrels boss, that doesn't rule it out of it being homing ammo. And I think we're going to need to get to our later levels to get DK.
Yeah, I agree. Like, from what we're seeing at the moment, we almost certainly need Primate Punch to actually go and get DK. But the question is, do we need anything else?
That's a good question. It could be Primate. Part of me thinks, like, okay, you go... Okay, so... I think you go to Galleon. I think you have to chase Galleon for your diving to free Kongs. Because your Tiny Temple doesn't go to free Kongs, which is a little weird. And diving is still path to free Kong. So it might be that Galleon is your free Kong item. Has your free Kong item. It could be... I mean, it could still also be path to Chunky, so it could be Punch and Galleon. And then, yeah, you go back to Factory and you find DK that way.
Yeah, that makes sense. This is a bit of a brain buster right now, because almost every hint we have received this seed is exactly the same.
Yeah, we have a lot of 3-8 DK and some sprinkling of Chunky in there as well. So it could be just something that's fairly linear, or who knows, it could be a whole mess. I still like your idea that it's probably Key 3 and Helm. And so, well, actually, if Key 3's in Helm, Cave CBs to 8 and DK doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, the only way that Key 3 could be in Helm is if Blast is not Helm access and Blast unlocks, like, I don't know, vines for a mini game. It's definitely looking less likely that that is the case, and it's probably just some guitar check.
That is possible. Guitar, and it's hard because, okay, I'm also trying to cook what is oranges used for. Like, maybe all this gets you sacks, and then sacks and oranges gets you Key 3 and cabins.
Well,
but like Diddy's lower. We do have a cabins path to 4 different things, 3-8 DK Chunky, but guitar's not path to DK or Chunky either. So
yeah, that is true.
It wouldn't be for that. I don't know, a bit of a brain buster. I'm interested to see. It looks like the runners are going back to Forest, probably to pick up Key 5, which we're pretty sure is attic shooting. Thank you, Beardbox, whether you intended to or not, for returning the bean to its rightful home. We will remember you for that heroic action.
We were so close to having a high-five bean plant. We were so close.
So close. With the bean not being Wath, that's actually kind of crazy, but...
It is.
Just barely not there.
Now, interesting that Beardbox went here instead of going Japes, but I guess we also haven't found a hint saying that it was Diddy.
Yeah, I guess from his perspective, it might not matter which order you do it in. You probably just do one of these for the key, and then you do one of them for the path item. Because as far as you know, like, it might be that you use that item in Galleon, which might be your level 6 or 7. And so it doesn't matter to get Diddy beforehand. We kind of... Okay, there's key 5, so we were right about that. But I'm interested to see if Beardbox goes to Japes, or he might just be gone... no, he's going back to Factory?
Uh-huh. I wonder why.
That's interesting. We'll see what he's cooking over there. Meanwhile, Cam's just a couple steps behind, just being a little more thorough to collect some additional medals here. But he's going to be picking up key 5, and I expect Cam's going to go straight to see what our... Well, we know our level 6 and 7 is Galleon and Caves. We just don't know which is which. But I assume that's going to be next on the order of things to do.
Number 1 Zinger in the...
Oh, I wonder if Beardbox
right
is thinking about this shop, which unfortunately we don't have Cranky.
I'd like to congratulate that Zinger for surviving 60 shots. That was a very valiant effort.
Congratulations, Medal of Honor. Unfortunately, Beardbox kind of realized, oh, I don't have Cranky. Can't buy that potion.
That makes a lot of sense now. We're going to be getting a guitar check here from Cam's end. I do like this.
Yeah, I think at this point, you're probably just checking... Like, it could be this whole path leads to Spring, and then you're looking for Spring plus guitar, which gets you either something in cabins or something here. But regardless, it's just 2 quick checks. Oh, okay.
There it is.
It's 2 quick checks, and one of them is key 3. So all of our key 3 stuff is pointing to Spring, which then means... Are we going to find something like Vines on Production Spring?
Yeah, I'm wondering what's going to be on Production Spring. Like, I feel like Cranky makes the most sense, but then what does Cranky get you in all this?
It's hard to say. I mean, like, right now we have Diddy Lanky. Oh, here's a cook. Factory, Cranky, Lanky, Way of the Horde. Sprint minigame, and Helm.
Sprint minigame.
Because we know Factory, Cranky, Lanky is Wath, and if... I guess we don't know if Cranky is path to key 8 or not. Or we don't know Cranky's path. We just know that Guitar is path to 3 and 8. And we just saw Guitar directly get us key 3, so it's not... Spring isn't necessarily to 8.
So considering that every path that we have has, 3, 8, DK, and eventually the 3 disappears. No, not the 3. The DK disappears. What I'm thinking is that all of these hints are path to Coconut and Grab, so you can go and get Cranky on the top of Production, and then that Vial in Factory Shops is Blast.
Vial on Factory is Blast. I guess... Let me chew on that one for a little bit here. Because part of me wants to say that the Cave CBs is just going to be Blast, but I suppose that could be... If that's something like Grab, maybe that does just lead you to Blast in Production.
Yeah, I'm not sure. There's a lot of weird converging hints here, so...
Yeah, but I'm interested to see what levels 6 and 7 are. We're finally going to get a peek at them, see how many golden bananas we need to enter the levels. And hopefully we can start actually churning through a lot of these major path hints, because so far, really the big path that we've actually been able to figure out is diving to 3-8 free Kongs DK Chunky and barrels to 3-8 DK free Kongs. And out of that, the only thing that we've really had resolved is barrels is to free Kongs thanks to rescuing Diddy.
Yeah. Ooh.
2 potions on the factory metals. We've gotten barrels already, so that must be one other thing.
Yeah, and that hint doesn't account for bosses, so...
I think that was 34 to enter Galleon.
Yeah, that was roughly 34, so we have a little bit to climb, but I guess we do have a few blueprints on each other's screens. According to their trackers, there's roughly 6 and 2. 6 and 3 now, I guess.
Yeah, Cam's sitting on 28 GBs now with 5 blueprints he can turn in, so that'd bring him to 33. And then Beardbox is 21 GBs with 3 blueprints he can turn in. So I wouldn't be surprised. I suppose if that looked like port actually to enter. Was that port?
That was. Yeah, that's unexpected.
Okay, things are getting really interesting now. Now it seems like, well, it could just be Blast gets us port. Or Blast, maybe Blast gets us Mini Monkey and ports in the 5-door temple. Well, okay, that actually redirects you to caves right now.
Yeah, well, let's see how much it is to enter, because that's almost certainly Primate Punch.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay, that's not too bad, actually. That's not bad.
Yeah, we're absolutely going to turn in here. Meanwhile, I like Beardbox checking Tiny Temple. You need GBs, so you might as well get this done while you're still in Aztec and figure out what our item here is going to be. This is Path to 3-8 DK Chunky, so definitely like a sizable item, and it's yellow.
Okay, probably need this.
Could this be coconut?
I feel like that's the most likely case, because it's not on the path to Cons. Well, yeah, it's a yellow vial. Of course it's not going to be on the path to Cons. What am I saying?
It is indeed coconuts.
Alrighty, I know we've disproved my theory, but that's 5 guns.
That is 5 guns indeed. Is there anything that could be on, I guess with Peanuts only being with Peanuts only being path to Diddy Phase and Coconuts being path to not Diddy Phase, plus we have all our Diddy Phase items. I do think both the Check of Legends are indeed dead.
Yeah, this is very sad days.
But while you're wallowing in the loss of Check of Legends, you could still root for me for Doga 2. It could still happen.
I'll root for Doga 2. I think Doga 2 would be pretty neat. The question would just be, what are we getting from Doga 2?
That's a good question. Caves boss for Blast.
Ooh, okay.
Possibly.
You know, that could make sense. It's got possibilities. Or like maybe Grab is on there to go climb production.
If Grab is on there to go get production, and that leads you to Blast, Coconut would then also just have to lead to Spring separately. I guess obviously not that hard to do. This is season 4. Coconut is used for like, I don't know if anyone's crunched the numbers on the percentage of checks that require coconuts, but there are definitely not there's no loss of opportunities for coconut to be needed for some check.
I have heard from a little birdie that coconut once again likes to ruin seeds. So who knows?
Yeah, we'll have to see. It's kind of interesting because we have coconut before going to cabins, and cabins is, I guess it's probably likely that Grab is just on cabins, right? Could it be coconut and
yeah.
grab just working together for a big item?
Oh.
Ooh, what do we have here on Beardbox's side? We got a purple potion on the guitar pad.
Nice.
It's Twirl. Twirl can be used in a lot of funny ways. It's not used for a lot of checks, but runners can find a lot of applications to use Twirl to avoid needing other items.
It's also just good mobility anyways.
That's true. You get a lot of like chasms you can kind of cross and a lot of corners you can cut while using it. Looks like Cam did a little bit of a turn in and now he is headed in caves.
Now, interesting that, because Cam doesn't have Rocket Barrel, Cam did not get PTT, and both of those moves are the moves that make looting caves much more bearable. So this has been unfortunate for Cam, going to be a much slower trip through this level.
Yeah, and I'm trying to figure out, like, we don't have anything pointing you back to Castle. Cam's really going to need a hint here for Rocket Barrel, because if Rocket Barrel goes entirely unhinted, I don't know when you go back to Castle.
And like you pointed out yourself as well, you're guaranteed one hint for a lot of these paths. And we have a Diddy phase and a Key 7 hint already. So, unlikely, but there is a chance that the game will just prioritize Key 3, 8, and DK hints.
That's true. Looks like Oranges is not needed for Diddy's lower, so I do think we're eyeing Tiny's lower cabin for whatever oranges are needed. There are, I think, only 3 checks in the game that require oranges. You have Diddy's 5-door lower cabin, you have Tiny's 5-door cabin, and then in the off chance it locks Sacks, I think the Beehive is also an orange check. It's an either or with oranges and Sacks.
Yeah, that's correct. But also, we don't know if we need Sacks. But also, we do, because it's one of the...
Do we know if we need Sacks?
I don't know.
I don't think we do. What I'm just saying is we have oranges way of the horde. We just don't know what it's used for yet. So we've checked one of the 3 checks it's relevant for. So it's a 50-50 between Tiny's cabin and the Beehive.
So this is weird because this does all come down to saxophone anyways in the end of the day. Because either you need saxophone for the cabin, or the check in the Beehive locks Sax, because the only way that would be way of the horde is if that locks saxophone through that check. So in the end of the day, all this does still somehow revolve around Sax. So about that.
Well, that has to be Beehive. There's no other check that we, like, that can't be, could that be, I don't think that can be diving. Can that be diving?
I really doubt it. I better hope it's not diving, otherwise I have quite a number of questions to ask the seed generator.
I'm pretty confident it's not going to be diving. So diving's the only thing we came out of from the Hive area, and the only check we haven't seen anything on is Tiny's Beehive itself. So seemingly we have the blast on Tiny's Beehive.
Time for a rematch. Are we going to be seeing Gorilla gone, or is the Gorilla gone? Again.
If Beardbox is gonna feel, he'll get it here. I'm glad he finally remembered to come back here. Because sometimes, like, when you're just doing your normal routing and you know you've entered Chunky's 5-door, you can be like, oh, well, I've been in Chunky's 5-door, like, that's taken care of. And you can completely forget. So good on Beardbox coming back, finding Gorilla gone. So that's one less thing that could absolutely ruin him.
Oh, yeah. But now it comes down to that Rocket Barrel. Speaking of which, there is a vial here, which I don't know if you can get this with the moves that we have available on Cam's end.
Well, we do have barrel throwing.
Also, as Forerunners, you can skip the intro to the minigame. You don't have to waste 30 seconds learning how to swim.
Well, sometimes I use that time just to write notes down because I expect like it's a different mini game, and then when this mini game comes up, I'm just like, well, I'd rather write the notes down than watch the intro, or then skip
that's
the
actually
intro.
a fair point. That's a fair point.
I want to know, will Cam bring the boulder over to Funky's? Can you use a boulder to get that bonus barrel?
Can you do that?
If you're asking me that question, something is wrong in this universe. I feel like you would know, but I thought you could put like a boulder on Funky's roof.
Yeah, the question is just if you can get it on the roof, and even then that would be kind of close, considering I don't feel like you can. I don't know.
Well, we have some people in chat saying they've tried and haven't been able to make it work, so probably not a strat you want to learn on the fly. So I doubt we're gonna give that a shot, but unfortunately missing that rocket barrel probably gonna cost Cam a little bit because that's could be our chunky free Kong item there.
That would make sense. How many GBs are we at on Beardbox's end?
Oh, factory shops to 8 and DK. That has to be the cranky item.
Okay, so it is looking like Cranky is probably top of production. And then that's the Path of Caves medals, I think. So...
Well, we have something to Caves Cabins. So I think it's probably Caves Medals gets us... Because I think Caves Cabins is probably going to be our spring. And then the medal could be grab?
Could be. Yeah, I suppose that would make sense. Oh, there's the key 3 hint.
There's the key 3 hint. Unfortunately, Cam's probably like, dang it, everyone else is going to now know where key 3 is. Or at least that's what happens when I find a hint like that. But that'll be good for Beardbox. He'll be able to quickly narrow down where key 3 is. Meanwhile, we see Beardbox back in Forest. Probably still just doing a little bit of a GB grind. He needs to get up to 30. He'll be checking a couple of these, like, well, he'll have a rocket barrel check, I guess. Oh, a key on the rocket barrel?
Yeah, this would be key 7.
Key 7 makes a lot of sense. I think we also saw was it a red vial on Cam's screen in that chunky igloo?
I was not looking on Cam's end of that side.
I definitely saw a potion of some kind. Oh, okay. Right, key 7's here. Forest Exterior Mushroom was not resolved. I forgot about that path hint, but yes, we did have it hinted that this would likely be key 7. So Beardbox gonna be walking away with key 7 here, but Cam probably knows that once he has a rocket barrel that he can go pick that up. Or you could pick it up out of logic too. But you kind of know you need rocket barrel anyway, so I don't know if there's gonna be much advantage of getting it out of logic.
Yeah, like maybe knowledge, like if you want to get into Helm to go get like a Sax hint, say for instance, but you need Rocket for Helm, you need Rocket for K Rule, you need Rocket to pay your taxes. It's required for a lot of things this scene, unfortunately, even if it's just basic movement.
Right. Unfortunately, I don't know if we've gotten any hints to kind of bail us out here. We still have Galleon, but if nothing says like castle surroundings, it could be a little troublesome here.
Well, according to the tracker right now, if Beardbox were to put in some blueprints, he would be able to get into caves. So I'm wondering if he's got some other things in mind, or he's just trying to avoid going visiting Snide so early.
I mean, I think part of it is like when you're already in a level, like you kind of want to avoid doing too many turn-ins because the time you're spending turning in a blueprint is time you're not spending earning GBs. So I could see just kind of being like, well, I'm already in Forest, might as well squeeze the level out of every GB it has. And then whatever I'm left with, I'll go turn in to get to 30.
Yeah. I also just made a pretty bad realization about something. I don't know if you noticed this or not. Cam has left caves and didn't get anything off medals, I'm pretty sure. I feel like Diddy's medal is Primate Punch.
That... Do we think it's Diddy's medal? Because it's Cave's main to Chunky and...
Oh, it was main. Oh, I misread. I thought it was C.
Yeah, I think it's that waterfall barrel has punch. But still, that missing that rocket barrel is compounding.
Well, when we do get to 30 GBs, we'll be able to see what that is, but we got to wait for Beardbox to get there first.
Yep, just taking his time, doing a bit of grinding, just getting those GBs, trying to make sure he doesn't have to go on the grind spree again.
Yeah. Also, down.
And it looks like even without, it looks like even without the, well, if he gets it here, but it looks like, come on, Beardbox, look, come on, get the grab. Almost. Come on. He gives up on it. That is such a annoying grab. You have to get it like dead center in the window for Lanky to hold on.
So something I learned the other day, I've been meaning to post a video about it as well, is if you're tiny and turn your back to the ledge, do the backflip and tag, it's so much more consistent. It's like, unironically, like 90% consistent.
Hmm.
I need to go post that somewhere, but either way, Beardbox will be getting a hint later, so that's not the end of the world.
No, it just means that it'll be a little... He might wait till he gets spring, if he decides to get spring. It depends on where it is in cabins. Like, the thing is, if spring is orange is locked, or if it's sax locked, then, well, it's possible that if blast locks are sax, then maybe that's the only reason why oranges is Wath. But we don't really know where our cabin's item is yet. And if it's in a nasty location where it requires, like, bongos, and we don't know where bongos is, could be in for a rough time.
Especially if Monkey Port is later on in this path, which means that you're not going to be able to actually get the hint for it, so you kind of need to just follow the paths or hope it's not too bad of a location.
Right. Alright, Cam needs this hint to bail him out, to tell him where to go for Rocket Barrel, because if this hint doesn't lead him in any direction, I don't know where he's thinking about going next. Especially like with that lone platform splat, that can be an easy one to memory hole at this point if you've already done like your Sphere Zero passive castle.
100%. This is... We'll see if we can get some more things here with, whatchamacallit, with Beardbox going through here, but I don't know, apart from that potential punch, I'm not that confident we're going to be able to get much here without going and finding other stuff.
Yeah, it's possible that Beardbox, after getting punched, just immediately bails and goes to try and get DK. Although, would DK have to exactly be on Dark? Yeah, he might exactly have to be on Dark Room for Punch. Oh, we have Pineapple. It could be on the metal, too. And Punch would be enough with Pineapple to get that. Is that right?
I think.
Yes, Pineapple and Punch is enough to get Chunky's medal. So if we get Punch, we have 2 more opportunities to get DK. And we know he's not going to be on Chunky Production, and he's not on the boss. So I think it's like a 2 and 3 chance. The one odd chance he's not available would be with Toy Monster. So I think once Beardbox finds Punch here, it'll be interesting if he might finish out the pass of the level, but then I think you're going right back to factory and trying to get DK.
100%. Or alternatively, Lanky Tower could have the goods.
Lanky Tower would be a little bit of a stretch, I think. We're still out Balloon.
Yeah.
But if Cam's thinking Lanky Tower... Well, Cam would have to find Balloon before Lanky Tower starts making sense. But that would lead him back to the right level.
But we're going back to factory instead. I wonder what we're doing here.
Well, I got a feel for Cam here because without Rocket, like, I think where he's at in the seed, there's not much direction. Like, I can't really think of much. Maybe he's thinking like, okay, I got to do a super duper thorough check here to get cranky. That might be a thought, but like right now, without Rocket Barrel, there's very little go on. And now he's getting confirmation Cranky's up there. And so Cranky's not going to lock DK.
I wonder if Cam's going to consider climbing production for Chunky Metal. Because I think he can do that, right?
It gets you an extra 20 CBs. I'm trying to think because there's
yeah, you can.
Yeah,
you
it should be
balloon
possible.
Pineapple.
Because you got the 20 around production, you got 10 up the pipe, you got 10 balloon at the top of the pipe between the vanilla entrance and production. You got 5 near Snides. Oh, and then you got like the 2 5 bunches for the 1 warps. So yeah, it's possible if you go a little out of logic, you can get Chunky's Metal. But still, that's only like a 1 in 3 chance of pulling DK. I mean, I think it's more like a 1 in 2 chance. I really don't think DK is going to be on Toy Monster, but at that point, you're probably a little worried because you're like, okay, if I get DK, I still need Rocket Barrel for the end game. So things are going to get a little more difficult. Also, something to just call out here. We kept saying that like diving was path to free Kongs. Turns out it's for a mini game. Has nothing to do with Galleon.
And this is where most Season 4 runners would just stare at the camera and go, yeah, okay, yeah, fair. I'm not surprised. This happens all the time.
Yeah.
This is an average Tuesday.
But that is indeed Punch. So that's probably our ticket for getting DK. So Beardbox has got steady progress in front of him. Yeah, Cam, it's just a little tricky here. Now he's going to do, like, you can kind of tell, like, okay, now he's covering all his bases because there's not much he's being pointed towards. Gonna do this boss, which did end up being homing, so unfortunately, he's probably gonna be a little disappointed by that. But like I said, there was a chance that this is some weird, like, slam or shockwave that ends up leading to homing later, but I guess the slam wouldn't. But like if this was shockwave, that could be big. But at this point, like it's just hard without any direction here.
So my question is, between the 2 runners, how many non-coconut gun locked hints have not been checked yet? Because it's looking pretty likely that this rocket is just not going to be hinted.
Yeah, it's a little rough. I think because you have the 2 in Lighthouse that haven't been checked. There's the 1 in Japes. Because they've had Peanut and Feather going into Japes, so they should have checked the other doors. Aztec, they would have had them all. Factories still have the production climb, so there's still 1 hint there, but that's coconut locked. Forest, I think Beardbox might be the only one who's gone to Forest with... actually, no. Did Cam check the hint by the owl tree?
I
would expect he would have had to. I don't think it was helpful at all. I know Beardbox saw it. That was the boss door. Okay, so that doesn't help at all. And then yeah, Caves and Castle, all the hint doors are... I've seen them both do the jumps to get up to the 2 hint doors above the cabins anyway. So yeah, I think Cam's out of luck here until he stumbles upon Rocket Barrel.
Which you have to go quite out of your way for that Kasplat, especially if you're not actually rounding it in with anything. Like, the thing that makes rounding that Kasplat actually good is if you have Rocket Barrel, or you've got burnt by that Kasplat a million times. I know which of those 2 I am.
Or if you have DK to collect the CBs, which unfortunately none of those scenarios are really going to come up very easily.
In fact, they're all locked by the Kasplat itself in this particular scene, which is absolutely cursed.
That is very funny for us and very frustrating for others.
Oh, yeah. But we're going back. We're going to Castle, so there is a chance that we might actually be able to go and get this rocket barrel soon.
Hopefully so. Meanwhile, Beardbox has been enjoying the fruits of the rocket barrel that we speak of. Gonna open up the igloos here. He does have guitar, although if you have he just saw the dark rafters hints, so I wonder if guitar is still on his radar, or if he's just gonna say, okay, that's my usage for guitar. That's probably key 3. I don't need to do lengthy checks here in Igloo. We'll see what he does. But yeah, Cam just doing another passover of probably just doing another passover of all the level. We'll see if he does get, but it's like he said, that Kasplat is just very out of the way, and without Rocket Barrel or DK, it's kind of hard to have reason to go back to it. Especially if you think you've already done it, because it's usually a Sphere 0 check. I don't know. I got my fingers crossed here for Cam, hoping he either realized that he missed that Kasplat or finds a convenient time to stumble upon it, see that its hair is still purple, and go, oh, I need to check that.
We're about to find out, hopefully.
And meanwhile, Beardbox checking the boss here, gonna see if this is our ticket. Unfortunately, it's tiny, so no Doga 2. And it's just a GB. So it's going to be someone's medal for, what do we say? KCB is going to be grab?
Probably grab, yeah.
Yeah. Thing is, he did get Diddy's medal, and that didn't pay out.
Yeah, I feel like it's probably just Lanky medal of this. Oh, sorry, not Lanky, DK medal. Which actually begs more questions if it is DK medal, because no, you cannot get DK medal yet.
Yeah, and with it ultimately locking Blast, I guess that means you would need Bongo for his medal?
That would be correct, yeah. That's, oh. Okay, so even though we're about to potentially get some good news here with hopefully getting DK, there's still many questions that this scene has not really answered. Like, where is Hunky Chunky?
That is another good question. It does seem like Spring, it could be another, I don't know if we saw another cranky shop that was selling something, because both Coconut and what I'm expecting is Spring in the cabins lead to Chunky Phase, which are not resolved. So it's got to be something with those moves. Doesn't look like it's Chunky Metal, unfortunately, so Punch going to be a hard requirement for getting DK. And there he is in the dark room. We finally have family at 112. Doubters are celebrating.
Yay!
Yeah, I don't know about you, but man, it seems even at the hour mark, it seems like Doubter's paradise for these qualifiers.
Generally, if you don't get family at 20 minutes, you're getting it an hour, 20 minutes. Like, either the seed just, you know, spoon feeds you all of the important keys and cons, or just very slowly tells you everything you need to know. It's just, it can be annoying at times, but it's rare that it's a not hinted case, you know? Although right now, unfortunately for Cam, we are still looking for a rocket barrel.
Yep. And I believe he's in the castle boss, right? So this is not going to be the payout. We'll see if he exits the level, because it still is in castle. If he exits the level, then we know that he's probably written off that Kasplat. But he's so... He can feel the presence, the aura of that Kasplat nearby, but he's walking by. Meanwhile, it looks like Beardbox is just being a little thorough in factory, just taking care of some of the medals, getting DK's medal. I don't hate this with how many things Coconut has path to.
No.
Oh, and Cam leaves castle. Oh, that's gonna be rough. So I'm gonna guess that he's thought he's gotten that Kasplat.
Yeah. Which makes sense. It's a check that, you know, you try to do the first time you go there, so easy assumption.
Yeah, and I honestly think in season 4, if you don't have DK, routing it is very like inconvenient, especially when you don't have Rocket Barrel either. Like it's just a very inconvenient spot, and you feel really bad like doing that walk around the tight court, like tight area around the perimeter of castle to go get that Kasplat. Like it just doesn't feel good. So I'm not surprised like something like this could fall through the cracks.
Exactly.
Well, we'll just have to see if Cam ends up going through all the levels and still doesn't find anything. Well, I'm not really sure what he ends up doing, but hopefully maybe he'll have an epiphany. It's happened to me before where in the middle of a race, I go, oh wait, I never got that Sphere Zero Kasplat. And then I drop everything to go get it. But we'll have to see when that moment comes for Cam. Meanwhile, Beardbox is leaving factory. He's got DK in tow. And it looks like he's going to be going back to Forest.
Is there something in Forest that I have forgotten about?
Not according to what I know. I mean, he already has key 7 from the exterior. Oh, you know what? He's going back for rafters.
Oh, yep, makes sense. Tried to do it earlier and did, in fact, struggle with what is very understandably an annoying jump to make.
A very annoying jump. I feel like it's a little easier with chunky. Like you said, I think doing it tiny, chunky, like, is probably the best odds you get. But, yeah, I understand just being like, oh, F it. I've tried like 8 times and it's not working. Just leave it. But luckily gets the hint that no, you should come back, go get key 3. I mean, you could put this off till later, but I guess you don't know if it's a potion or if it's just key 3. He doesn't know it's key 3, so I'm not surprised he's going back here to go get it.
The thing is, as well, is that he's at the point where he needs GBs anyways, so either gets GBs on the way to go grabbing the key, or it's a move that unlocks a key and in the process unlocks more GBs. So it's never a bad idea to go push it anyways.
True. I suppose that's true. I mean, like, one thing is he hasn't gone to Galleon yet, so I don't think he's gotten all his hints. So you could make the argument you want your hints as soon as possible, but getting moves and being like, on the off chance that's a move you use in Galleon, it's good to get that before going to Galleon. Now he's heading back to Japes.
Probably need to do the hillside check, which we did peek that purple vial. Was it in Lanky's cave?
That was Tiny's timed. That was a purple potion. Oh, if that's Mini Monkey, that wouldn't be Mini Monkey though, right? Because I feel like Cranky has to sell Mini Monkey with things being past the DK phase, and then he'll, unless it's something that just combines with a move you get from Cranky, but Cranky has to sell something for our DK phase.
Actually, I think this has to be Mini, because Oranges is currently hinted required for the Hive Tunnel, right? Well, so Saxophone would not be before the Hive, it would have to be after.
What if this is Sax, though, and Oranges is used in the cabin for Spring?
Yeah, that's a point, actually. That is a point.
I mean, Oranges could be for multiple... if this is Saxon, it has to be Tiny's lower.
Yeah.
And it is indeed Sax, so it has to be Tiny's cabin, is Way of the Horde. So I think that's going to be Spring. But unfortunately for Beardbox, I'm pretty sure he doesn't care to see Spring. He's already got key 3, and the production Spring jump is pretty easy to do. So Spring is probably entirely skippable. So it's just going to be a little unfortunate. He gets it, sees a red vial, sees it Spring, and goes, well, that didn't help.
Meanwhile, Cam over here is really struggling here, starting to run low on known checks.
Yeah, he's going, level by level. He's going to be in Galleon next. So that's production to 8. That's got to be cranky. Production to 8 DK.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think Gam's going to just go through Galleon, get everything in Galleon, go through caves, get everything in caves, and then we'll have to see what happens after that. It's a rough spot. I have been there. I'm sure anyone who's raced DK64 for a very long time has this sort of seed every so often.
Oh, 100%. It's a shame with how S4 especially works as well, because since it's a little bit more complicated than some of the past presets that have been done, you can get some interesting paths and interesting hints so that it ends up making some Sphere Zero stuff unhinted or just poorly hinted, because what would you rather hint, Check of Legends or Acre Splat?
That's very true. Like in some seeds where it's like an easy Sphere Zero, you feel bad when you see a Sphere Zero hinted way of the Horde. In other seeds where you accidentally miss a Sphere Zero, God, you wish there was a Sphere Zero hinted for you.
Oh yeah.
But Beardbox, remembering that oranges was Wath, picking up sacks, knows immediately to go back here. I don't know if he did he lower cabin? He might have already done that, but yeah, knowing that your oranges is Wath, this check had to be on your radar.
Yeah, both players have done it, and hopefully we'll be getting tiny metal in the process here.
Oh, that looks like Hunky Chunky, probably. I don't think that's going to be... Is that Triangle? No, it's Hunky Chunky.
Hunky.
So does Hunky lead to your spring?
What was the path on the cabins? Was it Chunky Phase on it?
Yes, it was 3, 8, DK, and Chunky.
So about your theory.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not even saying this to joke. I genuinely cannot think of any hunky checks that it could be, right?
Yeah. Are we gonna see the rematch of the century? Two Goliath Titans dueling it out in the octagon.
I don't want to admit that what is just said in the chat is right. I don't want to admit it. Also, what's this? Oh.
Random. I mean, that's a fantastic find for GB farming. Random shockwave in the sprint cabin. We don't have sprint and we don't have balloon. And there's Gorilla Grab on Lanky's metal. So that should take Beardbox right back. Oh, wait. No, I just realized it's not the rematch of the century. There was that red potion on the transparent igloo.
You don't have to bring it up.
No, it's okay. We're gonna work through this together. Well, we have to admit, we have to be able to move forward. I don't think we're seeing Doga 2 this seed. Much like you had to move past Check of Legends, I have to move past Doga 2.
It's just not the same.
Couldn't the seed give us anything? No Bean, no Doga 2, no Check of Legends? Come on, Sarah, where's the content?
Well, the content is, if everyone needs to go take a quick drink break, quick snack break, we're turning on production on the side here of Beardbox. So you've got enough time to go put some popcorn in the microwave, go whip yourself up a quick little drink, go for a stretch,
Call your parents, see how they're doing. Do some taxes.
Drink your, how many gallons of water? 1 gallon?
Well, 1 gallon so far.
I only have the one tall glass that is almost empty. So, we have approximately 2 mouthfuls left. So let's hope that, I don't go through this.
Well, I gotta be asking. I gotta be asking, what's the one way this seed could absolutely throw a wrench? Like, we know it's cranky up here. and we think
Alright.
that it's Mini Monkey that Cranky is selling. But what if? What would be the worst thing he'd be selling? Triangle at this point?
Balloon.
Oh, balloon would be pretty bad.
Like, balloon is one of those moves that it doesn't unlock many checks, but most of the checks it locks do require other items. So maybe?
Yeah, I mean, if it was balloon and an unhinted sprint for K's Beetle race for Mini Monkey, okay, I feel disgusting even bringing that up, but it could happen. It could happen.
Look, we've lost our wishes for this seed. I think we're allowed to have a few extra thoughts about the potential of after this.
Yeah, they won't give us what we want. Fine, they're not. The racers aren't getting what they want either, which is a nice seed.
All right, here's an idea. Chat, while we're doing all this stuff, how about you post your thoughts? Where do you reckon this is going? Do you reckon it's going to be simple, you know, get mini, get all that kind of stuff? Well, what are we doing? What do y'all think?
Good idea. We'll be blameless in all of it. It'll be chat's fault.
Exactly. See, you get it.
I get it. Speaking of balloon, well, okay, I guess the seed just rips that from us too.
Alright, and that will be the stream for the day. Good stream, everyone. That was it was a privilege. I'll catch you all next time.
That's so rude. Even before the shop, the seed was like, "Oh, you want it to be a balloon? Nuh-uh." So I can't think of much else that would be on the. I guess could it be port and then like car race? I guess it's probably port in the. It's probably port in the 5-door temple. I don't think it would be anything else but port in the 5-door.
Yeah, there's the Mini Monkey.
Yeah, and there's Mini Monkey.
So we go get Blast, and then was there a mini check that we know somewhere that needs doing to go and get?
Yes, we do. It is the Aztec Ferry and Tiny's 5-door. I think that's port.
That's go mode.
Yeah, we're in no mode right now. Save for a weird curveball in Tiny's Beehive, like I think, or in the 5-door temple, to be honest. It could be okay. There are still curveballs that could be thrown, but I think for 98% of seeds, we are in no mode. Which is probably going to be port in Tiny's 5-door ferry, and then blast in the Beehive. And at that point, we have all the items we need.
Meanwhile, Cam here is in one of the most unfortunate points you can be when playing a seed, especially in a tournament setting, is standing in front of a boss with the pause menu on, and you're moving sideways through the menu incredibly slowly.
Yeah. This is the part where you're like, did I miswrite a hint? Was there a hint I didn't even write down? Is there something that I'm not considering? Like, it's an awful feeling.
If it were at least possible to get punch out of logic, Cam could probably be bailed out by a hint in Galleon somewhere. But no, this locks your mobility, your big arms, and well, actually, both those two things again, because then that's DK. Everything is locked by this chain, and all for an unhinted rocket barrel. This is actually crazy.
Yeah, this is just super unfortunate. I don't know how many racers, like, the thing is, I don't think Cam is alone in the race room. I bet you in this race room of, like, how many people have we got? 30 or so? 39. I am certain that one of them is also in the same boat Cam is in right now.
I would assume so, yeah. Like, whether it be that people miss that check because it's so out of the way to get, or purposely don't do it because it's so out of the way to get, that check is understandably ridiculous. Like, I don't know about you, but I force myself to do that check every time I'm in. The way I route it is by purposely dying when I get that Kasplat.
That's probably a better way to do it. I do the walk of shame before I enter lower cave. I do the walk all the way around, go grab the Kasplat, then walk all the way back to go to Funky's, and it feels so bad. Normally when you have DK, I route it with the CBs, but yeah, without DK, it's just awful. We did indeed get blast on the beehive.
That is micro.
Yeah, this should say yep, Fairy and Aztec.
Yeah.
So I think at this point there's no curveballs. I think we're pretty comfortable in saying that we know where all the items we need are, and it'll just be a matter of time before we get there. Beardbox is sitting at 367 blueprints and 48 GBs. He does have the shockwave advantage though, which is actually pretty big. Like, I wonder how that's gonna fare in the race room, because I don't know who else is finding that shockwave.
Exactly. And the thing is, as well, is we've got to be looting Aztec to go get that anyways. We've got Blast here, so you're potentially going to see a Llama Temple visit for density. Like, this is just a really good case scenario for Beardbox in every regard, but especially GB density.
I agree. Like, I think he's in the best position that he could be in right now. Like, he's played it pretty well, and he's got like all the moves that he needs, and he knows that it's just a race at this point to 64. He has all the pieces in place. Outside of a sprint minigame, like, there's nothing else that could ruin this seed for him.
Pause from Kamerson right now does not lead to a DNF, because I'll be real with everyone here, as someone who has been in this situation many a times. When you are in this spot and you know that other people have actually found what you're looking for, the odds to DNF are very high. So I really hope that does not happen on Cam's end.
Yeah, we'll just have to see. The problem is, if you are like, I have gotten every check in the game, then like, I don't know what you do when you're just sitting here going like, well, I've gotten every check, where do I go? I literally can't think of a check.
Does the pause menu tell you Kasplats that you've missed through the blueprint section?
That's a good question. I haven't used that feature much. It might be the blueprint checks. But I couldn't tell you if that actually tells you what Kasplats you've killed. In the checks, yeah. Okay, I think the thing is though, like, unless you go through it bit by bit, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I would even know how to like properly do that, because you have no idea if it's a Kasplat you're missing, a golden banana you're missing, a banana medal you're missing. Like, I don't know. It's rough. And we see Cam heading back in factory, maybe with some idea of a check he might have missed. And Beardbox is dumping his 7 blueprints, gonna be at 59 going into Helm. I don't know about you, but that's a little spicy for my tastes.
So it is, but also when you can do 3 or 4 of the checks on the way to Helm lobby, to Helm itself, there's a chance that you can bump yourself up to 62, 63 before you even enter. It's definitely a spicy option, but it does have potential.
That is true, and plus having Twirl means that you can get the Kasplat in the Helm lobby, and like there's a possibility I might not do it, but you could do the Helm lobby bonus barrel as well. So okay, I guess with that you are probably feeling a little more comfortable heading down with 59.
Yeah. But also, considering what you were saying earlier, Beardbox could also just be going for a risk to potentially get a good place. Because already has the points, doesn't actually matter too much in the end of the day. But personally, for me, if you were to ask me what I would do, 60 is how much I would actually go to potentially go enter if I haven't actually been up to the top, which is actually how much Beardbox has now with that coconut cage.
Much braver man than I. I'm always going in with like 62. And then when I see that both the end fairies are like melons, I am laughing like a villain. I'm like,
I honestly don't like the gamble for the fairies anyways. Like, if I can avoid it, I will. But if I know GBs are being annoying, I'll go for the risk, because it's better than going to, I don't know, Castle Funkies or something like that.
True. I was just thinking, like, he was in Aztec, and there were a couple more GBs he could have farmed if he wanted, but yeah, he left Aztec pretty quickly after getting that monkey port.
Got a nice piano game check over here by Cam.
Unhinted piano game would be pretty cursed.
Wouldn't be the first time I've seen it, actually.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm not inventing any new scenarios no one's seen before, but yeah, this would be rough. If it was here, I'd be like, all right, like I don't care about this seed anymore. If it was an unhinted piano game.
6 lanky blueprints. Going for the world record here.
Have you ever finished a seed with all 8 blueprints of a Kong?
Not a season 4 seed. One of the first treasure hurry seeds that I ever did. A nice balloon pickup by Cam there. One of the first treasure hurry seeds I did. My final item I collected was an 8th blueprint. I was very proud of that.
That's pretty good. I think maybe, I can't remember. I feel like there was a seed I did where I got 8 DK blueprints, but I can't remember if that was like a Kevin or or season 3. It was a while ago. But it's pretty pretty rare.
It'd be funny if you got into Kevin, because Kevin is one of those presets where you kind of don't really actually do all the checks. So that would be very funny if it was that preset.
Yeah, it might have been while I was learning Kevin, so I might have been doing a bunch of stuff I wasn't supposed to be doing, but yeah.
No, this is when you say that they were all Kasplats, and it was just a very easy 8 blueprints.
Yeah. I could wish.
Alright, well that is a confirmed go mode there. We don't have any 2%, so that is a Beardbox on the way to the end of the game.
Yep, that should probably be about like a low 142-ish maybe for Beardbox. Maybe more like 143. We don't have a tiny phase, luckily. That. Yeah. We do have a pretty fast K rule, actually, if DK did eat Chunky.
Probably,
so yeah, probably around the 142.
That is the fastest, right? Unless if Lanky's faster than Chunky. I think so.
I think I've been told that Lanky's is just barely faster than Chunky's.
Okay, so very relatively negligible.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. In the end, it's not tiny phase because, well, the amount of times that I have been sniped during toes is great.
I never look at the race room, so I never get sniped. That's my philosophy on that. Cam finding Gorilla Grab. Unfortunately, Gorilla Grab not relevant unless you have DK. But Beardbox still 2 GB short, deciding to look at the battle arena for an extra GB. I feel like I would check the fairies first. But I don't know, he'll get 1 insurance GB here, bring him up to 63, and I'm sure the odds of one of the fairies being a GB is pretty high.
Yeah, no, Cam definitely realizes Rocket is what's needed. Oh, this is such a shame here, because this isn't even like that Kasplat it's an awful Kasplat. It's very understandable people missing that.
Yeah, no, I've missed more obvious Kasplats than that one. That one's a tough Kasplat to accidentally orphan. I think, funnily enough, one of the seeds I lost like by over an hour and a half. I missed the blue Kasplat on Castle, and that one's like way more convenient. That purple Kasplat is, yeah, it's just super out of the way. We have all been here. 100% we've all been here. We've all I was here Qualifier 1 when I accidentally orphaned a check and spent 40 minutes going through every other check, forgetting that it existed. And also,
Would you like to
Beardbox
cue the
proving...
evil laughter?
Huh?
You want to cue the evil laughter?
I was about to say, Beardbox proving me wrong that there were not 2 GBs at the end, only 1 GB and a fairy.
Alright, so probably going to be a little bit of a higher time. Probably going to be maybe a 1:43 is my guess.
Yeah. I mean, the Diddy and DK phases probably take just under a minute, but the chunky phase probably takes like a minute 15. So, yeah, like probably like a low 1:43, probably 1:43, just about. While we're waiting for this final phase spike, I have a question of the day for you.
Alright.
If you could pick any level to build a vacation home in, which one would it be?
That is a loaded question. Okay. Any level to pick. Ooh, I'd almost be tempted to say. I'm thinking maybe Jungle Japes.
Japes. Okay.
Not
What
for
are you
any
feeling
reason
about
aside from
Japes?
the scenery and the water, really. Like, I'd want to go somewhere with enough water, so I wouldn't want to go to Aztec, right? You need to go somewhere for a nice little swim. And there's just good scenery in Japes. I don't know. I would like to put a good old-fashioned tree house on the top of, like, Diddy Mountain, just to look out over the whole level. I think that'd be pretty good. There's also 2 boulders in that level. What do you think?
It'd be factory, because I'm a great worker. I work on weekends. It'd be short commute. I save my boss like, 30 cents every day by not wasting time on my commute. I would be present and active, and I would get employee of the month every month because I built my vacation home in our production site.
Ooh, okay. I like the efficiency. I like that.
Yeah, that was a trick question. That was an interview question that I gave a candidate, and when they didn't say Frantic Factory, we gave them a pass.
I'll be honest, I was considering Frantic Factory. That was the first level that popped to my mind.
Oh, now you say that after you failed the interview and you're trying to say, wait, that's what I meant to say. No, we already got you. Sorry,
now,
Spike.
Unironically, I work with a piano for a living.
Oh, you do now?
Yeah, actually. So I was considering Factory just to say there's a piano nearby. However, an irk I have with that piano is that the notes don't actually play the notes that it says. And because of that, when I do piano game, I use the colors to tell me, not the notes.
I try to make fun acronyms while the piano plays with the letters.
Hold up a sec. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but take a look.
Cam, red alert! Cam has found the red potion. That is both a relieving and the dive of death right after.
That is so sad to see, though. And then with that, Beardbox has clocked in an exact 1 hour and 43 minute time. That is a GG's to Beardbox there.
GG to Beardbox. He pulls in at 10th in the race room with a 143. Our winner tonight, probably surprising to very few people, is Charles with a 131. Kind of glad I didn't do this seed because there's no way I'd keep up with that time.
No, I can see that completely. There were definitely a few twists and turns, but I think I got a better person to ask about the potential twists and turns. We got Beardbox here today, Mornin and GG's.
Oh, there we go, Mornin.
You want to give us a quick rundown? Like, how did you feel about the seed? Were there points that were concerning, or was it just an easy, smooth ride?
This felt like an easy, smooth ride. I feel like There was one part that tripped me up for a little bit. It was the cabins area, but then I just randomly found saxophone, and it all just kind of mushed together real nicely.
Yeah, we were wondering if the oranges was because of that sax or because of the cabin, or if it was going to be your logical ability to complete hive. But then once you found sax, it was like, well, it can't be the hive anymore. So, and you immediately also picked up on that and went straight to cabins.
Yeah, all in all, this wasn't too bad a seed.
It wasn't too bad, aside from one thing, which you, and I wouldn't be surprised if everyone else that has finished so far, got quite lucky on. You, do you remember where you got Rocket Barrel Boost by any chance?
Yeah, we got it out of logic, right?
No.
No, not out of logic.
Oh, wait, no, it was
Zero.
It was the Kasplatin Castle, wasn't it? In surroundings?
Yeah. That
Yeah.
is a unhinted Kasplat. Kamerson got that Kasplat as you were about to hit GG.
Really? Wow. Okay.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
really unfortunate. That's a hard Kasplat to like. Some people like kind of take the long walk to always route it in, but it's not really convenient to route without DK. Unfortunately, that Kasplat locks your ability to get DK. So that was kind of a rough point for Cam. He got stuck on Rocket Barrel, and you can't really get Punch without Rocket Barrel, so then you don't have DK, and then the whole seed kind of falls apart.
Yeah, it's just rough. It's a rough one to miss.
And also, yeah, Rocket does in fact lock Twirl. So there's not really any way that you could even cheese Punch and then pop up later on, like get a hit later to get it, but it's very unfortunate.
Yeah, and we don't know if any of the at the point that you were at, like obviously you didn't need any more hints to finish the seed. We don't know even if any of the other hints bail out, finding Rocket. So, and you need Rocket to do the Diddy phase. So even if you do kind of get DK out of logic, there's no guarantee that something.
Yeah,
helps
Diddy
you get
phase
Rocket
and Diddy
later.
Helm.
Right.
It's a very important move.
Yeah, it looks like people are saying that some people have checked the other hints and there's nothing to help you there. So just unfortunate location for Rocket Barrel, helpful for some and hurtful for others.
Such a shame. There's in season 2 and 3, that Kasplat wasn't too bad to route in. But like there are ways you can make it work. In S4, you spawn at the top of castle, GG.
Oh, and there's something else I want to ask. Spike called you like a master genius for your death warp in Aztec Chunky 5 Door. What inspired that play?
A little bit of frustration, truthfully.
Okay.
Part of me was like, I don't know that this is the answer. I was convinced DK5 door was going to be my hint. It felt like it was kind of leading towards coconuts. So a little bit of frustration, a little bit of I just need to go get key 1, go do the rest of the seed and figure out what I can do. Turns out Chunky's was important anyways, and I'm glad I went back. But
yeah,
after that,
was that hinted at all? Actually,
I don't think so.
No, actually, yeah, we had 2 hints for the Get Out Temple, which, by the way, I don't know if you ever noticed the Beardbox, but you missed a couple of hints in Forest. The fairy was actually hinted there. It was very fortunate that it was the thing that you could get microed. But yeah, we never got a hint for that goal.
yeah, it was like 5 minutes apart when Cam walked by Rocket Barrel and you island gone. Like I was like, okay, one runner's missing Rocket Barrel, runner's missing Gone. Hopefully one of them gets hinted. And funnily enough, neither got hinted, but I guess you had the forethought to go back and go clear your Chunky Temple, and you're rewarded for it.
Yeah, thank goodness. Either other temple, I don't know that I might have got it. Like if it was in Lanky Temple, probably wouldn't have gotten it till the very end of the seed. If that, because I probably would have been stuck on the monkey port.
Yeah, I think once we had DK, like the rest of the seed kind of fell into place. I guess we knew that Cranky was on the production spring because Cam peaked it, but once you had Cranky and once you had Mini, I think everything else kind of was either very heavily pointed towards or straight up waft. So yeah, just Rocket Barrel and possibly Gone for some other people in the race room are kind of the two pain points of the seed.
So did you have any other thoughts or anything about the seed, or was that pretty much everything that comes to mind?
I would say that's pretty much everything that comes to mind. I'm looking back at the hints that I did write down. At some point, I just stopped taking hints. Everything was so straightforward, the 3-8 DK phase. Yeah, at some point, it just wasn't worth writing down hints anymore. Wasn't worth checking them. I didn't even dip into Galleon. I'm wondering if I should have done that for like the last Golden Bananas push, but other than that, not really much going on.
I mean, hard to complain. 10th is pretty good. I mean, you already have your 7 qualifiers done, so I guess it's sort of like either get top 5 or don't really affect the points. But I mean, I would happily take this as one of my qualifiers.
Oh yeah, I wish I could, but that's all right. It's good practice.
Yeah. I was also wondering, I don't know if it was in the back of your mind, but I was also wondering, like, man, if I had my 7 qualifiers done, I would do insanely risky plays to just like try and get a wild time. I don't know if you had any of that.
I wanna be brave and do it, but every time I get into a seed, I'm like, no, let's follow the logic, otherwise you're gonna get stuck. Especially if I'm on restream. Maybe tomorrow I'll go a little wild.
Fair enough. Yeah, you go for a wild thing on restream and it doesn't work out. It's just sort of like feels
on YouTube
doubly
forever.
Painful. Yeah. Or if you do an amazing pull, that's on YouTube forever as well.
That's true too. Hang on.
Okay.
I guess oh yeah, no, I'll let you do the honors.
All right. I think we're gonna wrap things up here. I don't know if you have any last shouts you want to give Beardbox.
No. DK64Randomizer.com. That's all I got.
All right. I think that's as good a shout as any. Anyway, I've been K-Man and been joined by Spike.
Absolute pleasure being here. Good time.
And we'll catch you. I think the next qualifier is at the usual Sunday weekly time, 12 Pacific, 9, or sorry, other way around, 12 Eastern, 9 Pacific in the morning. So that'll be in 12 hours. So we'll see everyone for the next qualifier, Qualifier 10, coming up in 12 hours. But until then, we'll see you next time. Morning.
Morning.